News, politics, entertainment, and more. Welcome to The Informant. Independent talk, pursuing truth, informing everyone. Now, here is The Informant, Eric Thompson.
Hey, good evening to you. Welcome to The Informant. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're out in the East Coast, good morning to you. It's coming right up at 10 o'clock p.m. out here in California. And what a crazy day. Man, there's so much to go over. And if you did not catch what went down the last couple of days with the conclusion of the Russian hoax probe, we're going to go over that quickly. Because President Trump, according to the AP, had maybe his best day in office. It's like, well, wow, how did that happen? Well, we'll go over that because President Trump today was able to, and after I go over what happened with Attorney General Barr releasing his summary of the Mueller Russian probe, the hoax, you'll be able to see that President Trump was able to get up, and it's like Mr. Rogers almost. Beautiful day. Good morning, America. No collusion. Basically, I've been cleared like I've been telling you. And then he met with Benjamin Netanyahu, who told him what a great president he is, and he really appreciated his friendship. Then he goes and celebrates the hockey championship with the victors. And then he finds out that the quote-unquote porn star Michael Avenatti is going to jail. He's not running for president. He's going to be going to prison, probably. So I do want to thank you for joining me. This is The Informant. You can always go on my website, the-informant.com. It's got my social media links and everything over there, and you can always hear my playbacks here on Spreaker.com/informant. All right, let's go ahead and jump in here. The news, the top one, and then I'll go over President Trump's day, and then we're going to backtrack, kind of like the movies. I'll go back and explain what happened yesterday, and then we're going to march forward, and hopefully I want to go over at the end of the show, way off subject here, that Barbra Streisand actually was defending that Michael Jackson had sexual relations with children, and they liked it. So, I just want you to realize how twisted they are. All right, here we go. This is from the AP. Victory lap and accolades. Trump has perhaps best day ever. Long time coming. This is from Catherine Lucy. It says he kept up his fist-pumping victory lap at the end of the Mueller probe, basked in gushy accolades from a foreign leader, and saw his former nemesis humiliated by the feds. To most of America, it was just another Monday, but for President Donald Trump, it was perhaps his best day ever. President Trump started his day off firing exuberant tweets over the end of the special counsel investigation. Then he went to a backslapping meeting with Israeli Prime Minister, and then he held a celebratory photo op with the Stanley Cup winning Washington Capitals. And to top it off, news broke along the way of the arrest of attorney Michael Avenatti, who rose to fame representing a quote-unquote porn actress who alleged she had a sex with a married Trump, although President Trump denies it. That seems like a pretty good day, huh? Especially considering what the media, the left, the rhinos, the deep state has been doing to President Trump. I'm convinced, and I said this last night, I don't think anybody else could have weathered the storm. You're talking crazy couple years. So President Trump started the day. He tweeted, breaking news. This is his tweet. Breaking news. Mueller report finds no Trump-Russia conspiracy at MSNBC. Dig, 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 dig. Then he goes out with Benjamin Netanyahu, where he signed a proclamation recognizing Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights, a reversal of U.S. policy and a political boost to the embattled Benjamin Netanyahu. Slathering on the praise, Netanyahu told Trump, "You've always been there, including today, and I thank you." And then you get down here to where President Trump met with the hockey team. He capped off his day, welcoming the Capitals to the Oval Office, joking back and forth as he sung their praises and reminisced about watching great hockey, great Bobby Orr play the New York Rangers. They're winners. They know how to win, Trump said of the Caps. And then lastly, Avenatti came out that he is going to go to jail because he tried to be a dirty dog with Nike, kind of pressure them, or I don't know what the term would be. He tried to twist their arm and say, and you know what, if you don't do these things, then I'm going to, you're going to lose the money. He tried to play hardball with the big boys, and Avenatti is going to go to jail for what he's doing. And he also took one of his clients' money and used it for personal reasons without his permission. So federal charges against Avenatti. So President Trump, probably best day since he's been in office. Here's a compilation I'm going to play. It's a video, but you're going to be able to hear the video, the audio. This is from newsbusters.org. Now, the article is video, the liberal media's most embarrassing Mueller failures. This is from Bill De Agostino and Curtis Hook. And it says the Sunday afternoon letter from Attorney General Bill Barr. So if you're not up to speed, the Mueller investigation ended Friday, and he found nothing. And we'll cover some of the details in a little bit. So then Attorney General Bill Barr went ahead and he put together a summary of what Mueller's team came up with. The problem is all of the media, pretty much 99% of the media are liberal, and them and their commentaries you're going to hear a summary of them over and over and over again. Doesn't President Trump realize he's got a noose around his neck? Don't they realize how bad off? Don't people realize how he's toast? President Trump's toast. He's toast. If I was President Trump, and you're going to hear it. What does that remind you of when I explain that to you? To me, it is the same thing that happened in 2016. Going into Election Day, what do we remember? There's a 95% chance, according to the New York Times, that Hillary Clinton's going to win the presidency. I give him about a 0% chance of winning today. Donald Trump has no chance of winning today. He has no path to 270, right? Right. Does anybody think President Trump has a chance? No. That's why they were so devastated, because the media told them for months and months, President Trump's down 11 points. He's down 12 points. He's down 20 points. He's down 10 points. He's down 8 points in Florida. 17 points in Ohio. He has no chance. And boy, people, I was up in the Bay Area. People were so arrogant. Oh, man, this is going to be a blowout. Yeah. Woohoo. They're so excited. And the media had it wrong. Devastated people. People were suicidal. People were freaking out. People were just going nuts. Well, here they are again. People all today are going nuts because the average person, and even some people that are somewhat involved in politics, they drank the Kool-Aid because the DC crowd runs in a circle. They do not care to listen to anything except what they're saying in their little circles. So they don't know what's going on. What they were being told, because all the news outlets were giving the talking points and they were all the same. Wow, President Trump's toast. He must be terrified. I can't believe, how can the Trump supporters still be behind him? What? I mean, they're just crazy. They're just delusional. He's such a racist. Well, here's a montage. Newsbusters went back, and they compared the journalist you're about to hear to similar to the Japanese soldiers that were not informed that the World War II had ended in the mid-40s and were still fighting in 1971. They didn't know. So you're going to hear Dan Rather. You're going to hear Brian Steller from CNN. Doesn't the public understand just how much trouble President Trump is in? You're going to hear Philadelphia Inquirer columnist William Bunch, who said, what dramatic evidence of collusion there is, and on and on and on. So here is the video, but just listen to the audio. And these are the liberal media that has everybody freaked out because they were so wrong again.
Public understand just how much trouble the president is in.
To believe that the president isn't compromised requires such a leap of faith.
I think we have all the proof we need of a scandal that's arguably worse than Watergate.
Do we know if there is still this belief and aspect that the president is working for the Russians? I can't answer that.
The U.S. president possibly working for the Russians, possibly an unwitting pawn.
Now, here's what the president said when asked if he was a secret Russian agent.
The president did not directly answer the question.
Why not just say no, if that's the answer?
There is tons of proof of potential collusion.
We have dramatic evidence of collusion.
How is it not collusion? How is all of that not collusion?
The collusion piece of this, piece by piece, starting to be built out.
A political hurricane is out there at sea for him. We'll call it Hurricane Vladimir, if you will.
Donald Trump knows the noose is tightening.
The noose is tightening.
The noose is tightening, if you will.
The noose is tightening around the president.
The noose is tightening. And I think they're shocked that the noose is tightening and that people might go to jail.
He knows he and POTUS are going to prison.
Well, I think they're all going to end up together in prison, and maybe that's a good thing.
Oh, my God.
You might be in legal jeopardy because of the Mueller investigation. But are you scared that you could go to jail?
The walls appear to be closing in on the president.
The investigative walls are closing in.
He feels the walls closing in.
The walls are closing in.
Trump resigns, quote, once Mueller closes in on him and the family.
Anybody that writes an op-ed and suggests that Donald Trump has not put himself directly in the target of an obstruction charge is just fooling themselves and some very, very stupid, ill-informed readers.
A stack of counts of obstruction of justice that could be fatal to the Trump presidency.
The House is going to have little choice the way this is going other than to start impeachment proceedings.
The subpoena could relate to two areas of the probe that might ultimately lead to Trump's impeachment.
They are the kind of offenses that would call for impeachment hearings.
If someone walked in my office and said I was a subject of a multi-year criminal investigation led by former FBI Director Robert Mueller, I'd wet my pants.
Mueller reminds me of the starfish, which gets itself tightly around the clam and uses all its stuff to weaken and pry open the clam. Now, this is a battle to the death as far as the clam is concerned. If the starfish is able to open him even a little bit, he can get him open all the way, and that's it, of course, for the clam. He's the starfish's lunch.
Starfish's lunch, huh? So there you go. There is all of a good summation of all of the wise people. Anybody that could just not see the collusion is just not all there. I mean, how absurd. Why doesn't President Trump just say it? Why doesn't he? The walls are closing in. He's got a noose around his neck and walls are closing in. Doesn't he see? Doesn't he see how bad it is? Well, guess what, guys? You're wrong. Now, some of them came out and said, yeah, President Trump has been fully exonerated because we trust Robert Mueller. And because of that, then President Trump has been exonerated. Now, for those of you that don't know exactly what's going on, the Russian probe, the look into a possible collusion with Russia ended, and Attorney General William Barr on Sunday released a principle of conclusions of the entire report and gave it a 4-page letter over to Capitol Hill. And it said, despite multiple offers from Russian-affiliated individuals to assist the Trump campaign, there was no evidence that they gave in. Okay, President Trump, who was able to get up today and said, no collusion, no obstruction,